Welcome to Guns and Gear Network, everyone. I wanted to bring you a holster review this afternoon, and I'm going to talk a little bit about different qualities of Kydex and stuff like that, and then I'll get into the specific review of the holster that I got recently. A couple things. When I've been carrying a firearm for a long time, and I've used all kinds of holsters: Kydex, leather, injected molded, you name it, a lot of in-betweens, all that, hybrids and so forth. And I recently did a review on one that's kind of a hybrid. It's injection molded with some nice padding and so forth, makes it comfortable, and that sort of thing. So I wear a lot of different holsters and try them out. So if you saw my other videos, you've heard me say this before. Very rarely will you hear me do a negative review. And the reason that is, a couple reasons. If it's a large company, some large manufacturer or something, yeah, I would give a negative review. I always try giving everybody the benefit of the doubt, whether you're a small company or a large company, on the customer service side. So unless I just have a real negative on customer service and everything, people buy stuff all the time they're not happy with, don't like it, don't like the exact color or something, and I'm not going to get on here and make a video about that. If it's just really junky, then I'll make a video. However, if it's a individual craftsman making something, you probably won't hear me do a negative video about that, because that person may have gave an honest effort to make a quality product that within the best of his or her ability, and it just wasn't to my satisfaction. And as long as they handled the customer service side of things and maybe offered a return or return my money, whatever the case may be, then I'm not going to say don't buy it, it's terrible or something. That's just not my style. I'm just not that kind of person, because when you get on the internet and start blasting individuals, it can hurt them pretty bad. And some people may really depend on this money. Now, that's not me advocating anybody to put out inferior products and not take care of the customer service side. Some people may be perfectly happy with what they paid for it, and I may not. So some of it is subjective, and I don't feel like if it's subjective, then it's fair to that person, especially an individual. Now, like I said, a large company, that's a little different. If they lose some sales, hopefully they've got enough resources to correct it with new designs or something like that, or whatever the recalls or anything they need to do. Individual, that's a little different story. So on to that. With that said, the other thing you all hear me talk about is most of the gear you see, almost all of it, close to it, I pay for. I'm a guns and gear person, and I like it, and I have a lot of it, either bought for videos or in just my personal use. And my personal life, I use it, so that's why I share it with you guys. Occasionally I do reach out to companies, and the way I reach out to these companies, I ask them if they offer any type of programs, not free product, but any type of programs for gear reviewers, and how on YouTube, and how that works. Sometimes they'll send you the product, you do the review, you send it back. Sometimes they'll send the product, give it to you. Sometimes they'll send it to you and ask you to pass it along to somebody else. There's all kinds of criteria. Sometimes they'll give a discount, like we would get the wholesale price. So occasionally I'll shoot out a handful of stuff, a handful of those emails out to some companies and reach out to them. Well, what happens is, I like product. I try buying products that I need at the time, or something I want to try. And because another reason you won't hear a lot of negative reviews is because I do a pretty good extensive research prior to buying, and what I try doing is cutting that research time down for you guys, and bring products that you may have thought about and said, hey, I've heard good things about that, wasn't quite sure, Guns Gear Network liked it, give a good review, I think I'm going to try it. So I try saving you guys some time and efforts by making these reviews, and that's why you really a lot of times won't see a negative review a lot of times, because I've done a lot of extensive research prior to even spending my money. So if you're a guy that don't have a lot of time or effort to spend in researching, that's why I do these videos for you guys also. So anyway, I was wanting another Kydex holster. I was carrying another type holster that I'd carried Kydex before, this, that, and the other, and I actually, for my M&P Shield in particular, I gave that holster to somebody else. They needed it. I decided to give it to them, so I said, I think I'm going to go back to carrying some Kydex. I'm going to buy another one. So here's the thing with Kydex. Kydex is kind of like leather holsters when you get into handmade crafts, not buying like from a name brand company you see from Midway USA or something like that, like Bianchi or one of those. We're talking, you know, these are craftsmen, individuals. Sometimes they make a full living at it, sometimes they just do this part-time and so forth. And the Kydex industry kind of exploded a few years ago and everybody was a holster maker. Well, what happens with that is it gets in a situation where some are great quality, some are terrible quality, some are what you pay for them. In other words, it was a cheaper holster, like I saved $10 or I saved $20. Well, the reason you save 10 or 20 bucks may be that the quality is just not there, or, you know, it depending on how competitive the market is, you may find two people with identical quality and similar styles and everything, and they're the same price, you know, or $10 apart in price or whatever. So let me give you an example of some poor quality holsters first. This was an eBay buy, and I just wanted something simple and easy to throw my Taurus TCP in, and I bought this holster. It was a disaster. It was terrible. Was it a Kydex holster? Yes. Did it hold my Taurus? Yes. But it needed a lot of work. It needed some more molding to get it to fit, you know, retention-wise enough. Because if you notice on this holster, there is no retention screw in it to tighten or loosen the retention. So I had to hand mold this to get the retention at the level I felt. So what that means is I had to go in there and heat all this. And I can't remember this one. I may have even used a lighter on one of those long stem lighters like you do your grill with. Or I may have used a heat gun. I don't remember which, but I may have used a little bit of both, to be honest with you. Because what I'll do is with a lighter sometimes is target a certain area so it doesn't heat anything else. So this was a disaster on that side. It was also a disaster with this clip. This thing was terrible. It's a Kydex designed clip. It's not one of the injection molded that some of the guys are using now. Just the fit and finish was terrible in general on this holster, and also this clip fit and finish was terrible. If you look, it's hard to catch in the camera. This screw is not even centered in this Kydex piece. You know, to me, if you're going, this is obviously a certain length, a certain width. You can go in here and make a template, lay it down, and already have it where you can mark the hole to drill it. But if this one's a little off center, call me being picky. I'm just giving you why one is better quality than the other with some of this type stuff. It's the attention to details that matter. Like I said, this clip was a disaster. It didn't have fit. It would not lock up. It kept spinning. I even contacted the guy. He offered me a refund. I will say that. However, you know, he made the excuse that people like this moving so they can make a camp. Well, that's fine. I understand that if you could lock it into position. But when it rotates when you don't want it to, that's not good. Whenever you put a holster on and get it in the correct position, it needs to be almost lockable. What I mean by that is it needs to be sturdy and stable in that current position. Not where it moves when you pull a gun out or something like that, where this, because you're putting pressure upwards, this would actually move around, and it was just terrible. So I had to go in and epoxy this to this once I got it into the position I wanted, and so forth. Again, a disaster. So then this brings me to this holster. Looks the part, looks pretty good. He had some decent reviews. Matter of fact, I don't usually buy from somebody that has too many negative reviews, but that's the difference between what people perceive as good quality and some that not. I'll be honest with you, when I bought this one, I did not reach out to this guy to give him a chance to make it right, but I'll show you some quick things on this holster in general that are pretty terrible. First things first is, if you can look, and somebody may have already spotted it already, it's pretty easy to spot once you know what it is. These holes here are here for a reason. They're rivets that hold the Kydex two pieces together, but they also serve a purpose to be able to mount different size mounting options. So if you want to put molly attachment, if you want to put, you know, for a 1.5 inch belt, 2 inch belt, whatever the case may be, that's why they're designed this way. However, if you look, see this one right here? It's not even with these. So when you go in to put those things on, that means it doesn't line up. So it has to, this mounting piece would have to be canted, and then that causes cant in your, let's say, molly or anything like that. If you look here, again, not even. This is just haphazard. It's just not even. So what he needs to do in the future is learn to measure and mark. So yeah, so again, fit and finish was not that great. It had a lot of sharp edges. I had to go in here and polish and get all that smoothed up. It was not done for the most part. I had to go in and do it myself, and that's just you know, it wasn't a cheap holster. I mean, I forget what I paid for it because it's been 2 or 3 years ago since I bought this, but I use it occasionally. But I just wanted to show you kind of, again, poor quality. So that brings me to the actual M&P Shield holster review that I got today. I was, again, doing my research, trying to find good quality holsters, this, that, and the other. I look on eBay a lot. Again, I like catering to the mom and pop shops if I can, especially with Kydex and stuff like that. Got to looking around, look on eBay, doing people did other reviews, and so I reached out to a gentleman that I found that goes by the username on eBay of Ted_Corey, and I'll annotate all that for you guys, and probably in the description I'll leave a link, and you'll be able to find his eBay page. So I reached out to him, and he was one of the ones that I sent a message out to asking did he have any programs for YouTubers. And I said, however, I'm interested in wanting a holster. I need a holster. So if there's anything you can do, greatly appreciated. He responded back and said, yes, I do that for YouTubers occasionally. Be glad to set you up. What are you looking for? What size? What to make? All that stuff. We got all that formalities out of the way, and it was during the Christmas, right before the Christmas holidays. He was busy, and I said, no hurry, my friend, just, you know, whenever you get a chance, this, that, and the other. So about a week, 3 or 4 days ago, I received the holster, and his holster price ranges from $45 to $69. He makes all different makes and models and so forth. You'll just have to contact him direct. He also makes different mounting options as far as clips, straps, and so forth. I like a clip. I've used straps. I have straps, and I may even order straps for this one, but this in particular holster, I said, hey, just send me the standard clip. That would be fine. Now, this is where the difference is. And this M&P Shield holster, the base price is $45. It does fall into the lower category of $45. So this is where the quality difference comes in. This holster is excellent. I mean, the fit and finish, to me, it's almost like it was machine made. It wasn't handmade, if that makes sense. You can tell a difference between somebody that really, it almost looks very commercialized. That's how good a quality this is. If he bagged this up and stuck it on any shelf in Walmart, everybody would think it was some big name product. That's how excellent the quality is. And what makes the quality different? Well, the fit and finish is just great. He's polished all the edges to a high polish, so it's smooth. And that's good because once you put this inside your pants, all this is touching your body, so you don't want sharp edges and stuff. So all this is very smooth. Now this is kind of a wrap design. It's not a two-piece design, so it's a fold over. Some people call that a taco style. And he also puts in a retention screw, so you can make adjustments to the retention to fit your needs. Some people like it tighter, some people like it, you know, loose, whatever the case may be. He's got a very unique design. I've not seen this exact design because he rounds this, which I like. Because if, again, this is in here, you don't want sharp edges and corners and so forth. Like if you look at this one's not bad as far as that goes, but this sticking out so far sometimes would dig into me and stuff. But this is a pretty small pistol, it's not that bad. But I really like his design. Again, rounded corners and everything. He uses a commercial clip. This is a clip that he buys from a company and installs. And if you look, the attention to detail with this, I don't even know how to get, if you look between the screw and the Kydex holster itself, there's rubber washers in here to keep this from backing out, and it gives it a spacer in there. If you look, and it's hard to get on camera, look at the detail in how this, the mold he made, I guess he probably made this portion of the mold, I don't know, but this right here is great. It's almost like it's, and it is designed to space here to mount this on. So he goes to a lot of just great detail with his holsters, and again, awesome. So how comfortable is it? It's very comfortable. I've been wearing it for a couple days now. basically for 8 or 10 hours a day, and it is great. It just is super comfortable. One thing I like about it is it's very slim in profile. The holster I've been wearing is a lot thicker than this. So this one, being as thin as it is very nice and flat. Matter of fact, my other holster that I've been wearing, which was the Nate Tactical, again, an excellent quality holster, just a little different style, a little different needs and so forth with that holster than somebody else. I have to take my belt out an extra notch for it compared to this one. So that's the difference in, quarter of an inch difference, I guess, or so, half an inch difference as far as even a belt size. So it's very thin in profile. This one in particular has the full sweat guard. I don't know for sure if he does many custom options as far as half sweat guards, lower sweat guards, any of that. You'll have to check with him and see. But I know he's pretty exacting in his standards, so I don't think he wants to start changing things around too much, but you can call or email him and ask. All right, so if you look, the way this is designed across here, some people had questioned about leaving this magazine release open. Well, the reason he did that on purpose, because he sells, I guess, to a lot of law enforcement, and one of the requests from law enforcement guys was they sometimes have to do an administrative loading or unloading, and they have to have access to this magazine release. So you couldn't do that if he would have went in here and covered that area. So that's why he designed it this way. I've won again 2 days straight, and 2 to 3 days now straight wearing it, and I've had no issues with that whatsoever. And I've got other holsters that don't cover it either, and it's fine. So I don't see an issue with that, even though a couple guys question that. He does make one specific for the M&P with no safety, and one specific with a safety. So you'll just have to contact him and see what he says. And I don't know if he does it, because I don't think it really matter, safety up, safety down, safety on, off, whatever. But anyway, all right. So also, if you look how it's rounded down here, that makes it more comfortable as far as fitting in your pants and not having any sharp edges against your skin or anything. So anyway, guys, if I had to give it a rating, 10 being the perfect holster, I've yet to find a perfect holster. I give this a 9.5. And, the reason I don't give it a 10 is because no holster is perfect in my opinion. There's always some little small, minute issue with it. But this one is very close to a 10 out of all the ones I've used, as far as comfort, everything. Design, quality, you name it. He's got excellent ratings on eBay, and I know why now. So he's very dedicated to his craft, and I like that. And so anyway, guys, if you got any questions, post those below. I'd like to thank Ted Corey for sending this out for the review. I've really enjoyed the holster. It's going to be changed up. I'm going to do an EDC video, and because I'm getting ready to, I've changed up a little bit of my EDC carry, and guess what? This is the new EDC holster I can see going forward, unless something else comes along that I try and I like different or something or whatever, but I don't see that happening, to be honest with you. It's just that comfortable, and the quality's there. I don't see it, it'll be, it's one of those holsters that would probably be passed down to my kids and grandkids. It's just that probably good a quality long term with it. So anyway, guys, if you have any questions, post those below. If you've got any experience with Ted Corey's holsters, feel free to share with us. We'd like to hear from you. And if you guys get a chance, if you're interested in a Kydex holster, I think you will not go wrong by shopping with Ted Corey over in eBay. And like I said, I'll give that information below and be able to check him out. As always, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll be bringing you another video shortly. Have a good day, guys.